Thank you for this great introduction. First of all, it's great to be here at this event today. And today, the topic that I would like to present to you is about the connected build environment, from data to decision making. Now, I have titled this presentation on that way on purpose, just to avoid something that we have heard so many times about the concept of digital twins. Now, to rephrase a little bit this concept and to clarify a little bit how people, software vendors, and the industry is getting a little bit confused about the terminology of digital twins. So today in my presentation, I will avoid mentioning that term, and I will be talking more about the connected build environment. So to start with, I will be showing a video of our partner PowerBeam on how do we see the connected build environment. So I hope that that was insightful on how do we see a connected build environment, how do you are able to visualize different data sources, how to make decisions from all this data, how do you combine them, and how do you connect to the different systems. So this is a common landscape that you will commonly see in any of your projects, where you have multiple sources of data from your common data environment to your EIS platform, to your KFM solution, to a building management system, an energy management system. There are so many different silos of data that you need to connect all of them together so that you can finally achieve what we just saw in the video. Of course, once all of that is combined, is when you can get to analyze the data and to make decisions out of them. So as we progress and we collect data from the project data to the construction data to the as-built data, then on top of that, once the asset is being built, we have the sensors, and all of that data together, we have to connect our digital and our physical assets. Once we get that connection is when we see the first level of a connected build environment, which is the descriptive one. So just collect the data that you're receiving. The next step will be that you learn from this behavioral history of the data. So it's becoming informative. That's the second maturity level of the build environment. The third level is the predictive, so that you get real-time monitoring and that you are able to predict what's going to happen, and you can make these informed decisions. Most of the platforms nowadays have reached up to this level, but there are two more levels that can get better insights and actions on your assets. The fourth level is what we call the prescriptive, so that you can propose any intervention prior for that happening, so you're one step ahead of what's going to happen. And the most advanced level of a connected build environment is a transformative. So the system itself will make decisions without any human interaction. We're getting to that point of more artificial intelligence being embedded into our systems, and we'll get to a point at the maturity level, it will reach that point so that the system will make their own decisions. Of course, to get there, we have to follow certain steps. So the first step is, of course, to do an audit and assess the quality of the data on the models. We have to, as we have all these different silos of data, we have to ensure that that data that we have on the models can be connected to these silos. So you have to do a validation of data points and parameters within the models so that you can confirm that that connection between all systems can be achieved. That should be done in an optimal way, and what I will show you now in a video is a little bit on an automated process using Power BIM. So once we have audited our BIM models and we are sure of the quality of the data contained within them, that can connect to other systems. So the first, or it doesn't need to be on sequential process, but one of the steps is to connect to the facility management platform. There are many different platforms. Here just an example of IBM Maximo, but there are other KFM solutions. So that the steps of doing the validation and then connecting that data back to the KFM solution so that you can actually connect both what the facility management teams and the operations teams are using. Other real-time data that you can connect with is what I was explaining earlier, the BMS or EMS, the building management system or energy management systems. Similarly, these systems can be connected depending on the different vendors of the equipment. And similarly, we have to find the link between the data on the digital asset and the physical asset, which is these two systems. So here you will see now a video explaining the process of linking and how you can visualize IoT data, different temperature, different spaces. Okay, one more step is to make use of all that data as well to do a simulation. So about energy and sustainability, it's quite important to understand what is the energy consumption of the building and how it's planned to be. So the comparison between what is meant, either by looking at the different methods of energy generation, consumption by space, so that you can do the comparison and the understanding on how it should be performing and how it's actually performing. So once we have these simulations, you can compare to the real-time data. So you compare how this asset is meant to behave, to perform, and then you can do an actual decision-making based on that actions. So you can check comfort level, noise performance, temperature, humidity, and the energy balance as well of any of the spaces within the asset. So what is meant to be consumed, what is meant to happen, and the final goal that you want to achieve through time. Of course, storing the data through time will help you as well to make this decision. So as long as we are able to collect data through time, that will help us to make this decision making as well. So here you will see a video as well of how to compare these simulations to the real-time data that we are collecting. Okay, so, well, before we run the video, so you can see from everything that I've been showing is that the actual purpose of connecting all these different data sources that we have is to really visualize the data. Comparing what I said at the beginning of the presentation, understanding what is a connected built environment, is not about having a real representation of any asset. It's about connecting data from different sources so that you can actually visualize how all that data is connected. So to finalize my presentation today, I would like to show you as well a recent project that we have done here in UAE with one of our clients, just to show how by connecting different sources, you can really achieve a connected built environment. So I hope that you found that quite interesting, that you have now a better understanding of how a connected built environment looks like, and we'll happy to, later in any of the breaks, if you have any questions, we'll happy to answer. Thank you.